Hey peeps, welcome to NAS Time Adventures. Today we're asking the question, what is the best scooter for camping? Now you may be asking yourself, why would I need a scooter for camping? So imagine you're down at the campsite, you've just set up your tent, shop's down the road and you need milk. Well, one of these is going to get you there. It's also a great way to look around your campsite, go sightseeing. You can cover so much more range with one of these things, and there's so much fun. There's so many good reasons you could have a scooter for camping. Now, I have considered other options. I want something quick and easy. I looked at electric bikes, way too heavy, way too cumbersome, and believe it or not, you need a special rack to actually carry them. You can't use a normal bike rack. So that put me off straight away. So I started looking at other options, and here I came across the electric scooter. Straight up, I'm not an industry expert, but we do have one on board today. So here we go, I've got Hamlet with me from the Simple Commute, a locally based here in Victoria. He has two of his scooters on board now. There's two main scooters, and they're the two that we brought with us today. This is more the commuter style scooter, great for around town, still great for your caravan parks, can handle the grass, the dirt and all that sort of stuff. And then we go into more your beast mode, and well, that's what I call it, like more of the beast mode.
That's
really,
right, yeah, your off-road, dual motor, very high performance e-scooters.
Yeah. So first we'll talk about some of the main features that you're looking for in a scooter. So power.
So power, range, hill climb rating, that's what most people are looking for in an e-scooter.
Yeah, and they're the most important things. And obviously there's a few other little features that we'll go through today, which are going to make your life easier. But when we're talking about power, now, the main difference in the two scooters regarding power?
Yeah, so the Aurora is only a single motor e-scooter, because being your everyday regular commuter e-scooter, you're not looking for that much power. But even though this is only a commuter e-scooter, it has a max power of 11 watts. And the Kaiju, this is a whole different beast, a different type of e-scooter. This is your dual motor off-road e-scooters. So dual motor means like the two motor front and rear. Each motor give you a rated power of 1200 watts, but it can reach a max peak power of 3600 watts.
Yeah,
which is very, very impressive, and has a higher top speed than the Aurora as well.
Yeah, which is massive. And when we're talking about power, obviously it comes down to the weight that it's carrying, the hills that it's climbing, and that sort of stuff. So as a general commuter, this sort of scooter has plenty of power to cover most people's needs. And then if you want to take that to the next level, then you're jumping into something like this. We're talking about range.
Yep, so both e-scooter come with a 100 kilometers max range, but it's very impossible to achieve that. It's just like if you just take it as a car, there's the...
Yeah, so when it comes to the car, they tell you can get 500 Ks out of the tank, but then we jump in and we only get about 400. So
yes, because there's the different factors, such as the rider's weight, and also how do you ride it. That's the most common question. How do you ride it? Do you ride it quick or do you ride it slow? But on average, if you ride at a speed of 20 kilometers per hour, both e-scooter will give you approximately 50 to 60 kilometers of range, which is still
plenty, really. And it's in the kind of conditions that we're riding it on, we're not looking at huge distances. When it comes to camping, you just want to pop downtown, you want to do a bit of sightseeing and that sort of stuff. So 50 to 60 is a comfortable range. So they're designed obviously to get up to about 100, and some people might be able to achieve that, but at a safe range, we're talking about 50, 60. And that's something to remember with all scooters across the range. When they tell you can do 100, 200, 50, whatever, I reckon you almost got to halve that.
Yeah, that's correct. That's very correct. We do some research. Many people on the internet would tell you that, that you just have to divide it by 2.
So there's the claimed range, and and today
the real world range.
We're giving you the real world, the real world range. When it comes to hill climbing, both of these scooters will get you up the hill, but obviously one's going to get a little bit quicker and a little bit better.
Yes, so you can tell like the Kaiju dual motor e-scooter will get you many places that the Aurora single motor e-scooter can't, because the Kaiju e-scooter also have triple spring suspension setup. So you have the front single spring and you have the rear dual spring suspension setup. So I'll say, because back to the question, right, which one is the best for camping? So personally, if you're not looking, if you not don't mind about the weight of the e-scooter, then obviously this one, just look at it, it's made for camping, it's made for off-roading. Yes,
made for bush bashing, basically.
yeah, however, we do have females customers that, you know, they go on camping with their husbands, and they don't want something that's that heavy, because
they're intimidated by something like this.
It is 38 kilos, and not many people want to lift 38 kilos up and down, right? So they do get one of these with the Aurora e-scooter, because not every campsite has harsh road condition. So this one, even though it doesn't have off-road tires, it does have the 10-inch very durable, solid tubeless tires, and you can ride on like off-road with no issues at all. So so we have customers that actually just bought the pair, one for the husband and one for
his and hers, basically.
There you go.
No doubt they're fighting over them when they're at camp anyway, because look, and you know, obviously it's going to just depend on the individual as well, your own confidence, and what you're looking for out of a scooter. So like we said, the lighter one, this one's lighter, easier to manage, and for most conditions it's going to cover you. But then if you want to take scooters to the next level, then you start getting into one of these units. Now let's talk about some of the tires as well.
So both e-scooter have the similarity and the differences, and tires is one of the main difference. We have two type of tires. This one is the Aurora, is your standard road 10-inch tubeless road tires, and this one is your is the Kaiju Offroad tires, 11-inch all-terrain. That you can see the thread is very different, and this one is definitely all-terrain tires. So being tubeless, I always tell my customer, if you're ever looking for e-scooter, you look for the one that has the tubeless tires, because it's just so much easier to manage when you have a puncture. And so much easier to change. And these two does have a built-in puncture-proof guard. So that means, like, if you ever experience a puncture on an unlucky day, that it has the ability to take you somewhere further.
It's not just going to immediately go down. So they are puncture proof, which means it's obviously going to have better protection against punctures, but also it just won't just go flat instantly. So if it's got a small pin in it or anything like that, it's going to give you some time to get back to where you want. So
that's correct.
That's an important feature. Look for tubeless tires in an electric scooter that's made for camping. Another great feature of these ones here, both of them, is the removable battery. Now, a great benefit when you're out and about, you don't have to lift your scooter, especially if you're living in an apartment or anything like that. You don't necessarily have to take the whole thing up to your apartment with you. You can also buy spare batteries, yeah?
Yes, you can. You can definitely buy a spare battery, just in case if you forget to change the other one, then you can just easily swap out. So you can see, you can lift up the platform here, and then just take the battery out and put the other one in that's fully charged while this one's being charged at home.
And that's largely for convenience. Now both these scooters can be charged either by 12 volt or 24 volt. Both these scooters can actually be charged by 12 volt or 240 volt. And that's important. If you've got an inverter or you're plugged into the caravan park, obviously it's not going to be a problem. But 12 volt, it's probably going to be a little bit slower charging, but use it during the day, charge it overnight. It's pretty simple. That's
right. That's correct. So this one, the charging time from 0% to 100% is approximately 5 to 6 hours. Yeah, it's still a bit of time, but like Nat said, that you can just charge it while you go to sleep. When you wake up, the battery is also fully charged, just like you.
And really, like, you've got 50, 60 kilometre range comfortably, so you're not worried about charging that every day anyway. So some of the safety features or some of the other features that we're looking for, obviously, you want lights.
So you have your LED headlights, and you also have brakes light and tail light. That's some of the safety features. And another one very important is the brakes, front and rear disc brakes, which is some scooter in this class only has one brake. So they either have one rear brake only, or one rear disc brake only, or they have something called the drum brake, whereas this e-scooter has front and rear, for maximum stopping performance.
And that's really important. And if you've ever driven a motorcycle in the past, it really does come down to, you need a good mix of brakes, especially when your speed is up there. You don't want to be hitting the front brake because you'll basically flip over. You don't want to hit the back brake because it'll just skid. So to get good stopping power, a good quality scooter is obviously going to have disc brakes as well. Really important, as opposed to drum brakes.
And this one also has what you call a stepping brake. So this one is is the brake for when you cruising downhill and you don't really want to hit the disc brake. You just
Yeah.
step on it. So
So we've got an additional third brake here for just for slowing yourself down against hills and that sort of stuff. So really, they've kind of thought of quite a bit. Nice, comfortable hand grips.
Yep.
The accelerator.
Yep. So there's a thumb accelerator, and so when you press, it will go. Then you also have this one actually have the cruise control as well. Cruise control, and has 3 rides mode. You have your pedestrian mode, so that's for when you have to ride on footpath. So, but in some states in Australia, you're not allowed to ride on footpath. But I know in Queensland, I think you can ride on footpath.
Yeah.
If I'm correct. So
pedestrian takes you down to 5 kilometers an hour.
That's right.
Limit.
Very slow, very safe. Then you have your standard mode and your sports mode. So each mode gives you a different type of acceleration feel, and a different top speed.
Yeah.
So if you want to reach the high speed, then obviously you have to put it in sports mode.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then again, we said this one's got cruise control. So if you are covering a little bit of distance, you're not holding down the accelerator, just a bonus feature there. Now, both these scooters are maxed out at 25 k's an hour, unless, of course, you're on private property, and then you can bypass that and set it to go higher. Now, I'm not overly concerned about a scooter that's tricked up to go higher, because some of the places that I go to, I want to be able to exceed 25 k's an hour, but the speed is easily controlled. It's not something that's just going to take off on you. Riding these pretty much for the first time myself, I found it really easy and really comfortable to get used to. So obviously they've got a little bit of power. You've got to get used to that power first, but you can go slow. You can have, like you said, you've got pedestrian settings and all that sort of stuff, which makes it a lot easier to get used to the scooter.
Yeah, and even though if you unlock it for private property use, you can always revert it back to the original 25 kilometers per hour.
Just to make sure that we're all legal.
So both e-scooters are very easy to fold. It's like a couple seconds, then you can fold it. And this one, like I said, this one has a net weight of 23 kilos. I can lift it up with one hand. Very compact, very easy. Yep.
Yeah, and that's important. The locking mechanism, just from my own research, discovered there's a lot of nasty locking mechanisms which can come apart while you're riding, which can flip, and they just don't make them solid enough on a lot of scooters. So really important to buy a scooter from somewhere that you feel confident and comfortable with, and make sure that the locking mechanisms are going to hold up, and also where they lock in to be able to lift it as well. So that can be easily broken, because obviously there's a little bit of weight there. So again, it's just making sure that you get quality. So moving on to the Kaiju now, you can see this is a little bit more of what I call the beast mode scooter. So this is going next level basically. A lot more clearance, a lot better suspension, and designed to obviously hit some of the harder tracks, which someone like me likes to do.
Yeah, so because we offer free shipping, we have many customers that's from Queensland, that's from WA, especially in the rural areas. They love to get themselves one of these just because this one has higher top speed, and many of them, they live on. They're the farm owners, so they use this to check on their livestock, or they just go out hunting, whatever. We have all kind of customers that been telling us, I want to get a Kaiju because I'm doing this, I'm doing that. But yeah, this is a whole different beast that can get you to many places that a regular commuter e-scooters can't. Yeah. Yes. Because it has the front and rear suspension setup, very very solid, very good setup. This e-scooter, just when you look at it, it's like an over-engineered e-scooters. 11-inch off-road tires, dual motor setup, a peak power of 3,600 watts.
Which is
insane
massive.
Hill climb. Yeah, insane hill climb. It doesn't matter if you weigh over 100 kilos or less. Like this one can take you to most places.
And I can attest to that. I have tested it up some big hills, and I'm close to 100 kilos myself. And to be honest, I don't think it even felt it.
Yes, and also it's just the look of it. Like when you look at it, you just want to own it because it is big, it is huge, it is a good looking e-scooters. Yes.
Yeah, an absolute beast. So some of the features on this one, like we mentioned, we've got single spring suspension at the front
and double springs at the back.
Yep. So obviously it gives you a lot more height as well with the 11-inch tires. So it's going to get you over a lot bigger bumps.
Yes, and this one also has the removable battery as well, just like the Aurora, and it's easy to fold. They share some similarities. Then you have the LED headlight and three ride modes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so a lot of the same features are just basically taken to the next level. So when you're trying to decide on which scooter you want, it's really going to come down to what you're using it for, where you want to go. And for me personally, I want something more for sightseeing. I want to hit some of the harder tracks. I want to scope out some of the four-wheel drive tracks that I might go through. So I'd be looking at something more like this. But just for getting around town, getting down to the shops, some local sightseeing with 50, 60 kilometre range, you're more than covered with both of these scooters, really.
Yep. And if you're not using it for camping, say if you live in the city, if you live in an apartment, then the Aurora is definitely the one for you, because we have many customers asking us the question, which one I should buy because I live in an apartment. Then we always recommend the Aurora because it's just much smaller, much compact. You can fit in the elevator. You can fit in your room. Yes. So
and that's important because, look, I mean, whether you're buying this for camping or not, it's something that you can pretty much use anywhere, just even at home for getting down to the shops and that sort of stuff. So something to consider. Look, we've answered hopefully most of the questions here today. Hamlet from Simple Commute is, like I said, a locally based company here in Victoria. He does free delivery, and he throws in a helmet, throws in a spare tyre as well, which hopefully you will never need. And he offers 2 years warranty on all his scooters. So these are two that he's brought with him here today. He does have some other options there, of course, but these are the two probably main ones that would consider for camping.
This is and also our most popular models as well. And like Nat said, we have the 24 months of warranty, even though our e-scooters are up to the highest standards, because the battery is also UL certified. That means that is, for any electronics or for any batteries, that is the highest quality. So you don't have to worry about there's something faulty with the battery, like potentially it might blow up your house, like people,
and that's the reality. We've seen the news, and look, we know that lithium scooters can be potentially dangerous. So making sure that you're buying a scooter from a reputable company.
That's right. Yes.
Buying them online on look, there's so many scooter companies out there today. So for me, it really comes down to who you're buying it from more so than what you're buying. So it's making sure that you're confident in who you're buying it from. You can ring up, talk to the people. They've got repairers all over the country as well. And like I said, they send it out free. And those are the things that you've got to look for. It's after sales support. So there you go, guys. 2 great options there to take with you camping. Hopefully we've answered all the questions that you may have in regards to which e-scooter is the best for camping here in Australia. So I'll definitely be getting a scooter soon, and I think it's easy to kind of see which one I think I'll be going for. But both are great scooters, really coming down to what you're looking for. Hopefully, if you've got any questions, get on a Hamlet.
Yeah, and just email us, go to our website, the Simple Commute, Google it, you'll find us straight away.
So fantastic. Yes. Thanks, Hamlet.
Thanks, Nat. Thanks.
Beautiful. Thanks, peeps. We'll see you in the next video. Happy camping.